long-term issues and implications of not properly handling fraudulent clicks or leads that get into your ecosystem?
It leads to wasted resources and decreased performance. In long term, it really undermines the data integrity. Convoso is known for having a plethora of different informations and reports that you can run. So if you don't have the right data integrity, it really erodes the decision making as a business. Most importantly, it does take away the trust with the lead source. So having the right handling for fraud tools like Anura will maintain effective campaigns.
There's a lot of negative things that happen to somebody if they're dealing with bad data, whether it's visitors, impressions, leads, numbers that are getting pumped into the system to dial out to. I mean, you're looking at marketing wasted spend because you're spending money to get those leads one way or another, and then you're pushing them into your back end. Once it gets past that initial test, there's a lot of cost and resources, like Megan was saying, that you end up having to spend all to find out down the road it was a bad lead. You have brand reputation issues. You have TCPA violations if you're making these phone calls. When you're dumping all that data into a dialing system and start those dials, the person that's making those dials, the actual person that's using the system, is the one on the hook for a TCPA violation. And since that's the fastest growing class action lawsuit type in this country, everybody's watching that, especially with all the new regulations coming out by the government and try to regulate all this stuff and try to stop, robocalls, which is still not properly defined. It's combating all that. So having the right tools in place, having the right tech stack in place minimizes that risk and those losses.
I kind of want to add to that because I think you highlighted a lot of key things. So within Convoso, there's different tools that you can add to make sure that you're compliant. But we do have certain features like our state tracker to ensure that if you're calling within a state and there's calling times that you shouldn't be calling into, that is pre-set up within the system. So once you set it up, you're good to go. Second is that we've spent so much time in our compliance section of onboarding, making sure the KYC, your DNC policy, anything that you would need to make sure that as a company, you're set up for success when it comes to compliance. So all of those things are needed to make sure that any campaign that's set up is set up to dial out and, ease of mind and making sure that your brand is trusted.